There's a line coming out of the police department, and it's not because they're all filing police reports. This is Crime Watch.
Hello, I'm Corey Sianez. I'm your police chief here in the city of Buena Park. We're coming to you today from our police department training room. And this is where our officers receive training on a regular basis, on a monthly basis. But it also is the room where I have what we call our Chiefs Advisory Board. And our Chiefs Advisory Board is made up of 15 community members, a very diverse group of community members that are business owners, that have full-time jobs, attorneys, members of the ACLU, housewives, and other influential people in this community that are part of a team that helps me form policies, strategies, and provides input on law enforcement issues in this community. It was formed a little over a year ago, and in fact tonight we are having a meeting and we're going to discuss the pros and cons of body-worn cameras. And as you know, body-worn cameras is a significant issue in this nation right now, and a lot of departments are going to body-worn cameras for transparency and to build trust in our communities. And so the Buena Park Police Department, your police department, is looking at soon implementing a body-worn camera program, probably beginning of next year. And so what I'm going to discuss tonight with our Chiefs Advisory Board is I want their input. I want to hear what they believe are the issues, pros and cons to law enforcement officers in their community having body-worn cameras and going to calls for service where that body-worn camera is going to be used. So I'm quite interested in hearing what they have to say tonight. I've already received some emails from some of them, and there's both sides of the spectrum as far as pros and cons. So it'll be an interesting 2 hours spending with members of our community listening to what they think about body-worn cameras and transparency when it comes to law enforcement. So that ought to be very interesting. That's one thing we're doing. Another thing I want to talk about just briefly is we are very involved in the community, and I'm sure some of you know that one of the things we do every year is we have a Relay for Life golf tournament, and we raise funds for cancer research. And over the last 6 years, we've raised over $100,000 that we have donated to the American Cancer Society to help fight that terrible disease. But one other thing that we're doing here, and we're doing it starting October the 1st, and we're not the only department. There's many agencies throughout California. We're doing what we call a pink patch project. So these pink patches are to bring awareness to breast cancer. And all the money that we raise from the pink patch project will go to St. Jude Breast Cancer Center located here in Fullerton. And again, to bring awareness and to do our part in providing some funding to help research and fight this terrible disease. So starting October the 1st, you'll see Buena Park police officers wearing the pink patches on their uniform as a way to demonstrate their awareness and to help fight this terrible disease. We are selling these patches for $10 a piece, and you can look on our Buena Park Police Department website, and it has the contact information and how you can obtain one of these patches. So we want everybody to participate, so please, if you get a chance, go on our website and order your patch as a way to represent your community and help fight this terrible disease of cancer. So thank you very much for joining me today, and I'll see you here in the next 3 or 4 months.
Hello and welcome to Crime Watch. I'm Jane Cameron with Sergeant Mike Lovchik of the Buena Park Police Department. They're not filing police reports, are they?
No, they are voting. Today is election day.
Today is election day, and we're staying a little bit away from them just not to interfere with that American democracy process. But That's a pretty good line going out.
You know, and it's been like that pretty much all day long. There's been a steady group of people coming in voting. Obviously, in the evening hours, people are coming home from work and what have you. There's going to be a lot more people. But to be honest with you, it's been a steady line all day long.
Now, having a polling place in a police department, does that bring in any type of security concerns?
Well, not really per se. I mean, we're not dropping our guard, obviously. We don't have any special things set up for it, but we obviously will keep an eye on it, make sure everything is operating smoothly. We haven't had any issues in the many years that they've been doing it here, and so we're not aware of any particular threats to our particular area.
Well, and for the viewers who maybe have never gone to the police department lobby, everything is pretty much sectioned off. The front desk, and there's a security door, so all they do is stay in the lobby and go into that community meeting room.
Right, the community room is for the community, so what they've been doing is having...
They're there.
They're there, yeah, the community is here today, that's for certain. But yeah, there's no possibility for people to be able to get into the police station. It's just in the lobby there and the community room.
Well, it's a unique opportunity for the police department to reach out to the community, and for those people that have never been to the police department, it's kind of a nice little touch to see what it's like.
Absolutely. We have been really trying to be involved with the community lately, and these little things like this is what makes it a little bit easier to deal with the community. Matter of fact, I came out here earlier and was talking to some folks, and they were being very cordial and being friendly, and it was neat to talk to people like that. But like you said, it draws them in, it gets them in here, kind of like the big thing that we had last week with the kids and the what's it called? Cops and Goblins. I forgot what it was. But again, just getting in with the community, that's the reason why we're here.
Well, we are out on election night. No, this is not going to be about election night, but maybe something will go on. Pro, anti, whatever, or just regular police work, right?
We'll find out.
Wait a couple 901, just took another one, Western and Crescent. Any unit to respond, code 3901 907K. Copy.
So right now, as you see, we're at a traffic accident. Buena Park Police Department was first on scene, and all the officers are trained in first aid, so that's what Sergeant Lovchik was doing, checking the passengers. Right now, the fire department is showing up. We've got a motor officer that just arrived right before we turned on the camera, so he's going to help with traffic control. And then the other problem, if the cameraman will turn around, is we've got traffic that's going all the way back. Because as you know, traffic accidents are not convenient for the people involved or the people that are in the area. So now we've got to pay attention not just to the accident, but also to the vehicles around here to make sure that they don't become looky-loos and cause another accident. unit with Sergeant Lovchik was the first police unit on scene. And so he jumped into this fray of going on. Now what you'll notice is you've got sirens going around because we just heard that there's another five-car TC just down the street. So we're going to be heading to that soon. While Sergeant Lovchik is clearing the situation here, you may have noticed that there are a lot of cars that are trying to drive through. If you're not involved with the accident, the best thing you can do is be aware, don't get in the way, and move through slowly and carefully. There were a lot of fire and police personnel that were less than a foot from the cars that were driving by. And as you can see, there are a lot of cars that are all around here that got stuck in this traffic accident. The best thing you can do is to get through the intersection safely. There were a lot of people standing off to the side, probably witnesses to this accident. And as the traffic officer is starting to collect information, if you were a witness to the traffic accident, you might stick around and be able to fill in some of the details. We had a slight language barrier with one of the drivers who wasn't involved in the accident, but he got hit by one of the cars when it bounced back from hitting another car. There's still a lot of activity going on here. Some of the fire engines are clearing to go to that other accident. We've got one tow truck here. There's a lot going on. One tow truck, we know that another tow truck is coming through. There are vehicles on the other side of the street that were involved probably as a secondary collision. And this is just a mess. Even when it clears up, you notice that there's going to be a lot of debris in the field. And the tow truck driver will be trying to sweep that up, but again, the most important thing you can do if you're not involved in the accident is just make sure that you don't contribute to the scene that's around here. So we're still on Crescent, but we're now at the next accident. Before we arrived, there were two vehicles that were towed off by another towing company, so we're keeping them real busy tonight. And as you can see, there's a lot going on here. They have two wires that are down, two lines that are down. One that's closest to us, they're not sure what it is, but the other one where you see the white light, it's attached to a lamppost, so they know that that is a live wire. So eventually Edison will get out here. In the meanwhile, this entire street is blocked off. And we haven't even walked down there, but more than likely this is going to be a long night for a lot of people, including the Edison or electrical company and the police department, just to keep everything blocked off and safe. That this show does is actually bring you right into the middle of what's going on, because believe me, when you're driving by, you never see the things that we see here. The officers kind of risk their safety a little bit standing out in the middle of the street and bringing us with them.
Right. You know, these are very dangerous scenes. It's not just because of a power line down. It's because you've got cars that don't pay, the drivers that don't pay attention and drive through at regular speeds instead of slowing down. So we're constantly having to have eyes on the back of our head. And I tell you, it can be really scary standing out here in the middle of the street like this.
Well, and it looks like you've actually got some senior volunteers or something that are helping.
Those are our CAPs, or our volunteers. And they're doing a great job over there just making sure people kind of go the way that we want them to go. That frees up the officers to be able to do their investigation on the collision. But yeah, like getting back to it, it's like I'm still looking all around even though the intersection is closed.
You know, explain to people why everything seems to be on the side road here, the line down and all that. So Why are both directions of Crescent blocked off?
Well, it's going to be opened up here real soon. As soon as we get this truck out of here, and as soon as we get the other car that was involved in it, most of the scene is to be contained onto the service road. So we're going to open up east and west lanes here very, very shortly, as soon as these cars get out of here. Then they can contain it. Edison is actually going to come in and do their thing, and they'll take care of business.
But it does seem, though, especially like at the other accident, where you really need to spread out in order to be able to handle the situation.
We need more people. We need more cops. We need more firemen. It's just crazy out here, especially on a night like this.
Well, and you were busy at the other accident, really helping.
I was.
There were several injured people there. It was an unusual situation.
There was 3 cars involved, actually 4 cars involved, 3 of them with heavy damage, and 3 people got transported to a hospital for trauma conditions. So yes, it was a busy night.
And I think this one had 4, because we saw 2, and then this one and that one.
There
So,
was 4 involved in this one too, and they're a quarter of a mile away from each other. So craziness.
so what's happening tonight? Is it because it's election night, or people are rushing to get their vote in?
I don't know. I honestly don't have an answer. I don't think it has anything to do with the election, but it's just one of those nights that happens.
And people just have to be safe.
They have to be careful.
If you have any questions about tonight's show, you can call the Buena Park Police Department at 562-3901, or check us out on the internet at bppd.com. Or if you happen to be one of those cars that's driving by, don't wave. It's okay. We know you're watching. Just be safe. With Sergeant Mike Lovchik, I'm Jane Cameron. Thanks for watching.